All right, welcome, welcome. It is 5:01 p.m. Eastern, and here we are at day 6 of Get Hot Paying Clients. Glad you're tuning in. Glad you're joining us. And today we are going to talk about how to sell your high ticket program.
So, what's cool is that we have a lot of people hanging out with us already before we even got started. And I love the comments and the question. Eileen is here, and Catherine is here, and Jocelyn is here, and Amy is here, and Taz is here. Hey, everyone. Let us know if you're ready to learn how to sell your high ticket item. We also have a hard stop today at 6 p.m. So we're going to try to get exactly the same way we did yesterday. Go through the training so you have all the knowledge that you need, and then you can come in and pick Terry's brain because that seemed to be the most important thing. Let's talk a little bit about what we've done in the last 4 days, Terry, and how, what people got stuck on and where were the benefits, and then how we can help them further.
Great. So we're here at day, oh goodness, it's day 6 already. We've started really understanding the concept and the philosophy of why you have to have a high ticket program. And we really talked about getting in the right mindset and transforming that mindset. We talked about finding out what your ideal target audience really needs. If I could help you with one result and only one result, what would the answer be? So surveying your audience. We talked about creating your core unique positioning statement so that you are not a Me Too business and you are a distinct business, creating value, 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 results, 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 outcomes, outcomes, outcomes. Then we talked about exactly what the components needed to be that you would teach in your programs. You break them into steps, 3 to 5 steps. And then we talked about, once we have all of those things done, we talked about how do you price your program? What is the right price for the program? And today we're going to talk about how do you actually get people into your program? So how do you sell your program? And there's nothing wrong with the word sell. We sell all the time, every day. We sell our friends and going to restaurants that we love, movies that we want to see. Sell is not a 4-letter word.
Right. And one thing that kind of, jumped at me in the last 4 days is how we started the training with the core unique positioning statement. And how many days after that, you still got questions, you still got emails, you still got messages about the one thing that we started before. And I kind of worry, Terry, that, we're day 6, we have 4 more days to go. And before we're done, we're going to give them the training, and then they're still going to need to pick your brain. So should we tell them what goodies we're having in store, or should we keep that until the interaction part?
Let's keep that into the interaction, but I want to share the same thing because I agree with you. Just to nail down a core unique positioning and to do it perfectly and to do it right, just to make sure that your survey is answered, to make sure that you have named your program the right thing, you have the right steps, just those things are things that you need more guidance on, in my opinion, based on the days and the questions and the comments. So, we want to make sure that we help you as thoroughly as we can in the next 4 days, in addition to today.
Yay. And so let me show you again where everything on the site, if you guys are lost for a second. Remember when you scroll down, right here, there is a top menu. And right here, you can find all the replays, all the worksheets, all, your stats. And even if you're getting any trouble hanging out with us, this is the link. It will give you all the training and you can practice hanging out so that you are able to join Terry in the training. And right here on the top, download your worksheet. So you'll see this is your worksheet right here. And we are going to dive right in. How about that?
Excellent. Great. So you only need one thing, really simple, one thing to sell your high ticket program. It's one thing. It's a webinar. It's an automated webinar. It is one simple thing that, if you do it right, is going to make a dramatic difference in your business, in your income, in your time, in your lifestyle. And I have to be really clear about this. Doing this webinar right is going to make or break all of your success. because the people that I've worked with in my program going through learning how to build their high ticket webinar, the ones who have done it on their own before or worked with some other people that didn't really help them create one that's proven are struggling. So let's kind of go over why a webinar and why not a funnel. Why is a webinar better than a funnel? Well, first of all, a webinar is one simple thing. Okay, I like simple, I like easy, I like effortless. Those are some of my favorite words. Funnels are complicated, and funnels are not as in integrity as a webinar is. Let me explain that in its very opinion. A funnel says, here, come in and get this. But wait, that's not really valuable. You need this. But wait, now you need this, and now you need this. And I don't really find that that's really very ethical. It's tell me what I need, and don't keep layering more of my money on top of it. Give me the solution, not solution, solution, solution. Well, those really weren't the ones. This is the one. Give me what I need. Give me one thing, whether I'm a buyer or whether I'm the seller. Give me one simple thing. So webinar is much better than a funnel. You create your webinar my way, which is automated, it's simple, it's easy, and more importantly, webinars work. I know lots of people paying lots of money for all kind of funnel programs and systems and monthly charges for funnels. Just having a webinar is one simple, easy thing, and it's a lot more authentic in my viewpoint. People get
you know what's interesting is that a lot of people, and this is why I don't like those free 27, 97, 47 stuff. When I just started my online internet marketing way, it kind of felt like they're giving you the cake recipe without the sugar, and they're saying, oh, you didn't create that exact cake that I told you can because you're missing this part, right? But you can only get it with my next program. And then you get there and they're like, we're missing the baking soda. Oh, you meant you want that cake? Then you need to get my other program. And it's always kind of like you can never get the exact results that you were promised because something's always missing, right? Like they're not going to give you the entire enchilada for $27. The $27 is like the appetizer. And yesterday we were talking about it, right? One solution, one guaranteed proof, and you can never guarantee the proof with $27.
Exactly. And here's another difference from a webinar. As people watch a webinar, they get to know you. They get to like you and they get to trust you, particularly if you follow my formula, because they get to learn from you and truly experience you and get educated by you, and they get to see you as the expert. In a funnel, they just get to see another Me Too business. Buy this, no buy this, no buy this, now buy this, now buy this. And honestly, in my belief system, and for me personally, it turns me off. And I'll just share a personal experience. I saw a product that I thought could be interesting that I said, I think I'll buy that. Maybe my clients might like it and I'll share it with them. And I went to buy this $97 product and instantly was an upsell to $297 and then a $497. I went through all the upsells till finally the upsell was going to be to working with this person on the phone for $25,000. And then I literally canceled every single dime of it because I realized there wouldn't be any real value. So please don't be working from funnels. But let's talk about the 5 elements for a successful webinar. Now, the first thing you want to do on a webinar is you want to tell people what the outcome is. And many people make a big mistake of talking about yourself. Hey, my name is Terry Levine, and I'm the best-selling author of 37 books, and I'm blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Does that tell me that you can get me to the outcome? No. Just talk about the outcome. So at the end of this webinar, you're going to be able to, whatever it is you're going to teach them, you have to teach them something real and something significant. So element 1 is discuss the outcome. Number 2, and here is the big difference between what I teach versus many other people, I want you to teach real content, actual content, so that at the end of the webinar, they have gotten a real result, not a pitch fest. I know some of you have been on these webinars that I've been on where there's no value. It's just you're waiting for a pitch, you're waiting, and then all of a sudden the pitch comes and you think, I didn't even learn anything. So teach real content that delivers real results and value. That's the second element. The third element is demonstrate your ability to deliver the outcome by using social proof, which are case studies. So how do I know you can deliver the outcome? Just because you tell me you can? No. I want you to use the case study. Now, if you say to me, well, Terry, I've never helped anybody do this yet, then I've got another way that I can help you do that. But for today, demonstrate your ability to deliver the outcome with real case studies. So here's my client, Brian. Here's where Brian started. Here's where Brian ended. Here's my client, Jane. Here's where Jane started. Here's where she ended. Show real data, real case studies. The fourth element is at the end of the webinar, you want to sum up what you taught them. So for example, we just talked about the things that I taught you over the last 5 days. So I would sum that up. I would say, so today I taught you how to create a core unique positioning statement. Today I taught you how to put your program together. Then I taught you how to price it. So sum that up for them. And then the final thing is, how do you end your webinar? So there's lots of different people, again, teaching lots of different ways to end webinars. Your call to action is invite them to call you. Invite them to have a phone call with you. I'm not talking about a coaching call. I'm not talking about a sales call. I'm talking about a call, and I teach this in my process, where the two of you can see whether you can really help them. So invite them to call you. Got it?
Got it. You know, we're getting like really great comments here. Rachel says, amen. We ignored our babble. Michelle says, I like your cake analogy. Thanks, Michelle. I like dark chocolate cakes. So Robin says, I agree with the webinar. I really dislike funnels, nickel and dime you to death and never really get you what you need.
Right.
Michelle is asking, can the funnel work to get people to your webinar?
So you don't want to use a funnel to get people to your webinar. In my program, I actually teach you exactly how to get people coming to your webinar. I don't like funnels. I don't use funnels. If you have gone to watch my webinar at all, and I know some of you have, it's very simple. You sign up and you watch the webinar, period. I don't funnel you into anything. I don't send you a bunch of stuff you don't need or extra content. And let me just explain something, because this is so important. You can really screw this up. You really can, because if you create the wrong webinar, not all webinars convert. In fact, lots and lots and lots of people have webinars that don't convert. I worked with a gal this past year who paid a expert, I'm going to call them a fake expert, $25,000 to help her create a webinar. And she came to me with the webinar and said, it's not converting. I said, the webinar is awful. It doesn't follow the 5 elements. You haven't figured out the one result. You don't have a good core unique position. You don't have anything. It's not all webinars convert. And so I actually, with my clients, I actually help you with a webinar. And if you do the webinar wrong, I just have to tell you, you're going to spend so much money trying to do a webinar that doesn't work and driving people to it, and they're going to watch it and they're not going to buy. So I just have to say, you've got to follow my webinar template, because there's only, and mine came through a lot of experimentation. Don't think I put one webinar out there. I've been doing webinars for decades, and I learned, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, this is the webinar that converts. Let me then try that with a client, because it works for me. Wow, it works for the client. Let's try it with another client. Let's tweak it. And over several years created literally the successful webinar formula. So I think that's really important.
It is. And, you know, it's so true. I think one of the biggest heartaches that you can have is, as you work on your webinar, and it takes a while, you know, there's a few drafts and you put it together and all that stuff. And then finally you got the courage and you put it out there, and then you send traffic and you see people are coming in and then they're dropping off, and you don't get any calls, and you don't know what's wrong and why is it not working. And if you're doing it on your own, you have no one to kind of pick the brain and be like, hey, what's not wrong? You know, what's wrong with this? Why is it not working for me? And so having a mentor and having someone to kind of like I use the analogy of like learning how to ride a bike, right? So when you rode a bike, when you learned how to ride a bike before, you had someone that you trusted to hold the bike for you. You trusted them not to let go of the bike, right? And kind of laugh at you as you fell the first time or the 5th time. you trusted them to be there and hold the bike until you can bike on your own. And you need someone like that when you have a business and when you grow a business. You need someone to kind of like that you trust, that knows how to bike, that has done this before, to kind of be like, okay, you know, you're not paddling right, or the seat is too high, or, you know, we need some more air in the tires. But not that everything is your fault, right? Maybe the bike is not right, but someone needs to be there looking at you doing that stuff. It's very, very difficult to see yourself and know what's going on with you. And Terry, yesterday you were even mentioning that you have a mentor that you pay $50,000 for just to help you get to the $1 million, right?
Yeah. And just to literally create an extra $1 million in my business, I paid $50,000 to create an extra $1 million. I mean, that's a pretty good gamble. I don't go to Vegas and gamble, but if I did, I would do that every day. So and my intention and my desire is actually to help you create your webinar. And then once you create it, you don't really understand, well, I drive people to 10-minute conversation. How do I close them? What do I say? You know, I was thinking about something today. For some of you, it's taken 4 days just to nail your core unique positioning, right? This is a process, what we're doing here. And it can take a long time to figure this process out on your own, which is why I'm excited. I want to give you my winning template. You're just going to apply it. I'm going to critique it. I'm going to help you fix it so that you can make money. I even give my clients the actual emails. Here's the templates. Here's the emails that are already effective, so you don't have to create your own. Here's what you say and do in the 10 minutes. So one of the things I like to do is give my clients literally everything, because there's a problem out there. There's a bunch of stuff out there that's not proven. My stuff works. It works for me. It works for my clients. So I really want to help you, and I want to take you further. And I want to really like take you under my wing and nurture you to create the successful webinar. Make sure you have the exact core unique positioning, that you've created a model, that it's a visual model, that if you haven't gotten survey results, I'll show you how to get them, and then drive the traffic to your webinar, and then do those 10-minute consults. I want to help with all of those steps.
And so there we go. Two things. One, refresh the page, come on in, and Terry, let's tell them how you can give them all that stuff without them having to pay you $6,000 an hour.
Well, I'm excited to do this. I'm really excited to do this. So my program is $2,500 normally for 6 weeks. It's always that price. As I said yesterday, at a restaurant, you don't go in and say, I want the $47 steak for $20. My program is my program. It's $2,500 for 6 weeks. And if you just think about this, you could spend $2,500 just figuring out how to get traffic, you know, doing Facebook ads or whatever. So what I'm doing is I've had a ball doing this course with you. And what I'm doing is a fast action bonus. And I mean fast action, and I want to make this really clear. There is not going to be any exception. Fast action means by the time we are live again, which is Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, you will save $500 for acting fast. So now the program is only $2,000. And I'm doing something I've never, ever done. This is one time, as long as you're in by Monday, because I believe that people who take fast action are committed. They want my help, and those are the people I want to help. I believe in decisive clients, because the way you behave is the way your prospects behave. So if you're one of those people that goes, oh, let me think about it, let me consult the stars, let me ask someone who has no idea if this is good for my business and hasn't been part of the course, what do you think? You're going to have clients that are like that, and you're going to scratch your head and go, Terry, nobody closes. My clients don't want to buy. Well, that's because you set that mirror. You set that example. So in addition to the $500 off, I'm doing something I've never done before. Instead of 6 weeks of my support, I'm going to give you an additional 6 weeks. You're going to get 12 weeks with me for only $2,000. Now, that is really ridiculous. Why am I adding in the extra 6 weeks? Because I've never done it. And got clients that have been on here on the Hangouts that can tell you I've never done it. Why am I doing it? I want to make sure that I support you and that you implement. I want to make sure that at the end of 12 weeks, where you coach in a very small group with me for 90 minutes every single week, where you get my step-by-step webinar that you can watch 20 to 30 minutes in the privacy of your home and convenience each week. Do this step, Come on a call for 90 minutes. Let me help you. I want to make sure that the people coming through this program are my most successful clients ever. I want your case studies. I want you to be raving fans. I am throwing in 6 additional weeks. You're going to get 12 weeks with me, 90 minutes of coaching you just like this. We'll see each other. I'll work with you the whole time. It'll be all 90 minutes of coaching time. So you're going to get 12 full weeks. And this is the fast action bonus. And I want to make it clear, there are no exceptions. We're not meeting tomorrow. It's Super Bowl Sunday. So you're going to have until Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern, but that's it. After that, it's back to $2,500. There's no more 12 weeks. You get 6 weeks, just like all my other clients. So this is a fast action bonus. And I'm going to also throw in, just made this decision, you're going to get into my national Facebook lovers group. Now, let me explain what that group is. That normally is a group that pays several $100s a month to be in. That is how I actually teach you to drive traffic without using Facebook ads. It's an edging system. It's not required, but it is really going to put this whole program over the top for you, because you're going to have very high quality prospects coming to your webinar very quickly by using that. I'm going to put that in there also. So that's what I'm going to do today, Yvette.
I keep muting myself. There we go. I keep muting myself not to go over what you're saying. So this is amazing, guys. The reason why Terry and I were talking about extending the time is just because we saw how long it took to finish step 1 for so many people, and how much time you guys needed in just like brainstorming. And all you had was like one question. You know, we only had time for one question, then you had to come back the next day and one question and the next day. And so many people were still stuck with their core unique positioning statement. And now that you have that, and you have kind of like the framework, there's so many little details, as you saw in the 4 days that we're having, that Terry's arm is probably really hurting because we mended it so hard so she can offer this.
Well, let me tell you what I find. A lot of people get stuck here where we are today. They get stuck in, well, I create something, but how do I sell it? And this is where the average mentor sells you like a $3,000 program, and it's a program in autopilot, and they give you a bunch of, maybe unlimited email support, but they're not really in the program, and they're not the one doing the email support. It's their assistant. I bought these programs. I know. That's not me. I am not your average mentor. You'll continue, once you register before Monday, to get direct access to me. I want to personally review your core unique positioning, your model, the elements of your program. I want to personally ensure you build the right webinar. I want to ensure your webinar can convert. So in addition to the video training that you're going to get, you'll take that at your own pace. You get me 90 minutes a week, and now I've doubled it. So for 12 weeks. And unlike lots of those mentors who hire people to interact with you in a Facebook group and, pretend that it's them interacting, I put you in a private Facebook group. It's my group. It is me, nobody else, that will read and answer your questions. It's called Terry Levine Clients. Only my clients get in this group. I actually will answer every question you have for those 12 weeks. So you'll have me as your mentor every single day, pretty much for 12 weeks.
So here's some good questions are coming up. And then we get to the people in the Hangouts. If you guys want to come in, Michelle, Rob, Eileen. Eileen says, Terry, you're the best. For those of you who are not Terry's clients, I would highly recommend her. I'm one of her clients, and she's great. Thanks, Eileen.
Eileen, I love you.
Guys, refresh the page, come on in so we can talk about like, hey, what would go into your webinar and how would you apply this to your own business? And just before then, let me come on in. There we go. Michelle is asking 2 questions. What if we don't have something to sell? And what if we don't have a list?
So you don't need a list, because in the system I'm going to teach you how to drive tons and tons of traffic without having a list. So forget about a list. Don't have to worry about a list. That doesn't matter at all. If you don't yet have your program, if you say, well, I have nothing to sell, well, you can't be in business with nothing to sell. So I will help you figure out what it is that you have to sell, what is the one result people want, and then design your program around that one result.
And actually on Monday, we are talking traffic. So that's coming up next. But if you, again, if you want Terry's brain to pick, then join today and save yourself $500. I love all the people coming in. So Batista, our first, I love it.
I guess when you say refresh the page, I do that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I love everything I'm hearing about the webinar. I heard that, you know, teach real content, and I've been playing with webinars, and of course, none of them are converting. It's a catastrophe. The problem and the question that I have for you about teach real content is this. My content is based on strength training. Mm-hmm. That means weight lifting, right?
Sure.
So it has a certain amount of liability attached to it, because if the person goes and does it wrong, you see, our program is very specific. It's a sequence. It's a way of doing so much weight, so many reps, and that's why it works. And I'm always a little worried, or you know, to just throw in some exercises or give people advice. Okay, in other words, teach real content, where a person could go and try something, and then, you know, they didn't get the full system. It's just from a webinar, and then they might get hurt or do something like this. So I have a little bit of a concern and a lot of hesitation about really showing real practical steps into a webinar, just because you can teach so much on a webinar, right?
Speak to that, because that's really important. Thank you, Batista. So I'm going to use I don't want to use a famous person, but one of my clients is a very famous TV personality who teaches people how to lose weight. And during the weight loss, she is teaching people how to lift weights. It's a big part of her program. It's probably 80% of her program. I built her a webinar, and in the webinar, she taught 5 things. And the 5 things were the healthy ways to lift weights. So she wasn't teaching them a specific exercise. She was teaching specific things, like you must stretch your body. And so she went over some of the best stretches that you can use. The second thing she taught was the different kinds of weights that they have choices of using. You can use free weights, you can use Nautilus, you can use, and she gave an education about weights. I don't know if I remember all of her webinar offhand, but the third thing, she also taught how you can use rubber bands, and when you're traveling hotels, how you can use that. She also talked about water resistance and using water resistance training. So she gave 5 teaching points that were great. Then when people entered her program, they sign a liability release, because her program is all delivered by webinar with a little bit of her coaching and small groups. And basically there's a liability release that their doctor has signed off that they can lift weights, that they're going to, you know, make sure they don't get injured, blah, 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 blah. So she's not responsible if she's on a webinar here today teaching all of us bicep curls and you're doing it wrong and you get hurt. She's not responsible for that. So I would love to see you think of the 3, 4, or 5 things you can teach in a webinar that will get me even excited and motivated about weights and why the program works. So think of teaching me some things that aren't necessarily the exercises. I don't think that's going to be as powerful for me to sign up as kind of getting me geared up, like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to do this. I'm excited. Now let me talk to you and see if it's something I can do. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was really helpful. Thanks.
You're very welcome.
And here we are. So Kim, you are our next person. Hey, Kim.
You got Kim?
Hello.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Yep.
Oh, you're in color today. Hey, awesome. Very pretty.
I figured it out.
Well done. You're doing great.
All right. So my question to you is, you said an automated webinar, which means they can play it at any time, versus a live webinar where they can ask questions?
Yes, let me speak to that. It's really important that you ask that. So I used in the very, very beginning, many years ago when I was learning and experimenting, I used webinars that were live. And it took tremendous amounts of my time to get lots of people on and then get me on. And then I'd have to do it again the next week or 2 weeks later. And I said, wait a minute, I teach automate and leverage and optimize, and that's not doing it. So then I created my webinar and it was playing automatically. And I used a system that I do not endorse anymore called Stealth. And I do not endorse it. I do not suggest it for this reason. Stealth would fill up with all these names. Like everyone here is real. I'm looking Batista, Kim, Rob, Robin, Eileen. Everybody here is a real person. We don't add a bunch of names and pretend people are sitting here. You can see each other. We hear each other talking. Well, Stealth would add names and pretend these people were there. And to me, that's not authentic. My webinar is recorded. I say it's recorded. So you do the webinar once, you follow my template, you do it perfectly, exactly right. Once it's ready, we roll it out, we start driving traffic to it. People watch it 24/7, and literally they message you after for a conversation. So every day or every couple of days, you're getting leads.
Okay, great.
And it's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Literally get leads while you sleep, Kim. Can't wait. Excited with you.
Hey, and our next person is Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
I'm here now. Yes, hello.
Hey, you sound like Rob today, not like Mickey. Good to hear you.
I don't know what happened yesterday. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's funny. It's okay. I'm just glad to have you.
I'm just here taking it all in, so I'm following you. I appreciate this recorded webinar over the idea of going live. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Great. I'm so glad to be with you. And you and Cheryl are already clients in this program. And I just adore working with the two of you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I love when people come in and unsolicited compliments and support. It's really great. Robin, where are you? There she is. Yay.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, how you doing?
Awesome.
I don't know that I have any particular questions other than to for this part of it. I really like the idea of doing a webinar as opposed to a funnel. I hate dealing with them, and I mean, really, I have to kind of show more professionalism because of what I'm intending to present to people. Both ideas that I have. One of them is, I'm an expert teaching, and the other one is to show a benefit to business people. So, I mean, it has to be professional, but I just keep getting that, that's when with the funnels, I get the sensation of, but wait, there's one more thing, those late night things that I used to hate watching, but you're used to that. And I don't want to do that. So I'm really glad that there's that. But I'm just, so this program that you're offering,
yes,
the 12 weeks. So that is kind of like a little bit more in depth of what we're doing here. It's
a lot more in depth because I get to work with you in a small group, coaching you every week for 12 weeks, 90 minutes. You get step by step what to do for each week. You get all your questions answered in the Facebook group. I will review your webinar. I will give you my exact templates. I'll give you all my emails. I'll help you every day in the Facebook group. You'll get my national Facebook lovers group, which will instantly be driving traffic to your webinar. And in addition to that, you'll have me helping you do it right. So if you're doing your webinar and you're following my template, first of all, you have a proven one that works. Second of all, if you do something that's not quite right, I go, whoa, Robin, wait, go back and redo this piece. Don't release it until we get this. So I'm going to make sure with you that you're successful.
Okay, thanks. Because I'm going to have to consider that seriously.
Yeah, perfect. I'd love to have you. I mean, those of you, I just want to speak to those of you who've really come on the Hangouts, participated and answered. I've been with you answering questions or in the comments. I would love to help you. And that is my desire. And that is why I'm doing double the weeks that I've ever given. I've never done that before. And I'm taking the $500 fast action. I only want to really work with fast action people because they'll get fast action results. So thanks for clarifying, Robin.
So there's a question from Kenya, and she says, if I have a product on outline already, will it take 12 weeks to launch, or can we launch it in a group coaching with you at different rates, different times?
Oh, awesome question, Kenya. Thank you for asking. Well, first of all, the program's truly designed only to be 6 weeks. So I have clients launching their webinars way sooner. One of my clients launched her webinar in week 3. I've had clients launch it in week 4 and week 5. By week 6, you will launch your webinar, period. I'm giving you the extra 6 weeks that I have never given anyone. And why am I doing that? I'm going to stay with you the extra 6 weeks to help you continue to drive traffic to it, to make sure we tweak it together and it's ridiculously successful. I want to use, I'm being very transparent. I want to use the people who are jumping in with me as my best case studies ever. So I'm doubling the amount of time. You'll get it implemented out there 6 weeks from now. You will already have people entering your webinar. It'll be out there, it'll be playing. And I'm giving you the extra 6 weeks just to make sure that you are ridiculously successful so that you can become a raving fan. And that's really what I'm doing. I'm going to give you the opportunity to work with me for 12 weeks. I never do that.
Yeah, and Jean is asking also, what program do you record and where to post your webinars for people to access?
Great. So I teach all of that in the program. I'll do some brief answers on that. Your webinar goes up on YouTube. It's marked as a private so that nobody else can see it. And then you put your webinar on a page, just on a page. That could be a lead page or a ClickFunnels or even WordPress. So don't worry about that yet. I teach you how to do it. I teach you how to do it very, very simple. If you don't need technology or anything like that, it's really simple. And we even have videos that show you how to do it. So I wouldn't even worry about that. Where do you record it? How do you record it? This is the best and easiest way. You use PowerPoint or you use Keynote. If you don't have that, you can use Google. And you simply open up a slide presentation. You follow my template. Slide number 1 is this. Slide number 2 is that. Slide number 3 is that. And you drop in slides. I teach you how to make the slides, what's supposed to be on the slides. I give you the exact template for every one of the slides, including the closing slide. And then you press a button that says record. And you simply record it and you save it. That's all you do. And I teach all of that in the program.
Okay. So next person is Eileen. Let's see if we can get you, Eileen.
Oh, I hope so. Hi, Eileen. Let's see, she's muted. Just
unmute yourself. She's moving. Hey, that's a start. We can see. Yeah.
Yay! Hi.
I got the camera.
Awesome. You got the camera. You're unmuted. I see you. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm getting ready so I can start thinking about doing webinars and better live videos, because the other one, it was kind of, every time I watch it, it's like, geez, I feel like a fly watching a movie, because it would just show frame by frame, you know, so it's like, I'm going to take her advice. That's why I missed it yesterday, because I was out getting the camera that I need. The next step is to get the mic, because right in the mic that's in the camera.
Okay.
So, and I don't know the quality of that.
That's awesome. I have a question. Can you, instead of being on Wi-Fi, can you get hardwired so that your computer speed is faster?
I think I am hardwired to this because my computer is not Wi-Fi.
Okay, because it's very...
My modem's Wi-Fi capable, but my computer is not. So my computer is hardwired to the modem.
Okay.
I think it's just because it's an older computer, though. I need to upgrade my computer. I've been working trying to get everything upgraded and everything.
Gotcha, because I was wondering why it was slow. Okay, if you get that fixed, that's going to be super helpful.
Yeah, because the one I had, it was only in the megabytes, and I replaced the hard drive that was in that one into this one, but I want to put a new hard drive in, and this one's already got 3 gigabytes for memory, but I want to kind of speed it up.
Okay.
So it's just like a slow, gradual process.
It's fine, and I'm so happy that you're here today, and we can see you and we can hear you, because I want to really honor you. You've been so persistent in trying to come into the Hangout, and you've been asking your questions and participating. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I finally, the $500 program is finally done. I
Excellent.
got the last lesson finished today. The book, I'm still working on it on CreateSpace, but that's waiting for CreateSpace to approve everything.
Great.
And then it's on that.
So I'll just say hang on one second. For those of you listening to Eileen, she's a take action, decisive person. She jumped in with me a while ago, for another program, and she's already written a book, created a program. She's rocking Facebook groups, and now she's working on the video piece, and she's going to be going into the webinar piece. So, Eileen, I just wanted to give you a huge high five.
Thanks, Terry. Love you, T.
You're welcome. I love you. Bye for now.
And our next person is David. We saw your video before, David. Can we see it again?
David?
Just unmute yourself. I saw him a second ago.
Yep, David. All right, let's keep going. We'll come back.
Yes. So, Catherine. Hey, Catherine.
She's
Hi.
Catherine, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Happy Saturday.
I was just going to say that to you. That's so weird.
Oh my gosh. So my question is, I have a webinar already that I've crafted, and it's just full of content. Mm-hmm. And I do want to create strategy sessions or, just opportunities to call. And I've been doing this for about 1.5 years, and I just don't get people calling me. And the other thing is I took the survey and I haven't gotten one response yet. So I'm kind of like, I don't want my head trash to start filling up, but it's like, it's very frustrating.
Yeah. So first let the frustrating go, because if we're stressed, we're going to bring in more. So let it go. Let me speak to, because I've worked with, I can't even tell you how many people who've come to me saying, I created a webinar, and I look at their webinar and say, it's all wrong. It doesn't follow the right content. It doesn't follow the right template. And so very often it doesn't even have the right conclusion. So all of those things are why people at the end of a webinar don't sign up. And we don't call what we do at the end of a webinar strategy session. So there's some exact wording. Okay. So first of all, when we get people coming to the webinar, we want to make sure the webinar is structured with a proven strategy, proven content, and then we have a proven way. Somebody is calling my Google Hangout, Women Not Alone. So you don't want to be calling me, because you're actually calling me right now. So what you want to make sure that you actually do is follow the right template. And you will get people who watch it going into sessions at the end, because number one, we'll have the right people watching it. When the right people watch it and the webinar has the right information, then people instantly raise their hand at the end and say me. So we have to check a few things. We have to check, is it the right webinar? Is it done correctly? Is it the right content? Is the languaging at the end of the webinar what's going to get people to raise their hands? The other piece, and this is a good piece for everyone, oh my gosh, I have a survey and I'm not getting responses. So I've heard people say this over the years. So then we look at where else can we do the survey. For example, do I have people that I can send the survey to? Well, the answer might be yes. Do I know clients who have? So we find an expanded network to get the survey out. Or the other thing we can do is say, is there a gift or a prize? One of my clients came to me and asked, can I give away some of your books to everybody who answers the question? And I said, sure. So we gave an e-copy as a gift to every single person who answered the question. It went from one person to 16 people the next day. So sometimes it takes something really small and we could brainstorm that together.
That'd be great. Okay, because I did put my ebook in there as a gift. So, kind of like, okay, thank you so much, though. This is great.
Always, always.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, Catherine.
So we're having, Cheryl says, I love what I'm hearing about how you produce webinars. This is the first time I believe I can do this. How awesome is that?
Wow.
It's really cool.
Congratulations. I just want to let everybody know, Community Action Hero is messaging on my private Google. You're on my private Google. You're not messaging in this Hangout. So come to this Hangout. Just you're messaging me.
Oh, so
directly.
that is David. He's here, but for some reason he's not talking.
Yeah, he's tried to call me directly, and he's messaging me correctly.
Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that. So you're right here, David. Just turn your camera on and we can talk to you. Batista is asking, do we need a landing page, and will you help us make sure that it converts well?
Great question. Yes, you're going to need a page. I don't like to call it landing pages. You're going to need a page, very simple, easy. I'm going to give you the exact template to set up, super ridiculously easy. I not only help you set that up, I will help you make sure it converts. So, let me give you a true example, a case study of a client. Started with, this is John. He started with his page, and he had 16 people watch the webinar, which was great, right? He was all excited about that. I was too, 16 people right out of the gate, really great. And only 2 people asked for a session. And so we went back and we made a couple of tweaks together. And then he had, the next day, he had only 4 people watch, and 3 out of 4 people asked for a session. So yes, that's why I'm actually doubling weeks to work with you even longer to tweak those things. Normally by the end of 6 weeks, you've got your webinar, you've got the template, you've got my emails. Now I'm actually saying, all right, let me make sure you're doing it right. Let me make sure the implementation is correct, and I'll stay with you even longer.
Yay. And following up for that, Michelle is asking, we're not restricted to specific tech stack to make this work. And are we getting assistance with the tech if we need this?
Great. There's some good questions here. First of all, I'll just be really transparent about me. I hate tech. Like, I am so non-techy. I don't like tech. I don't like anything about it. So the first thing I can say is everything I teach is like for the, what's that book for?
Tech dummy?
Tech for dummies, okay? Because I'm one of the dummies. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, if you do need help, my assistant, James, who is phenomenal, he's been with me for many, many, many years, he is also in the Facebook group with us. So what you do, for example, is you say, hey, I tried to set up my landing page doing XYZ, and I'm curious about this. I'll see your question and I'll say, okay, James, can you go help David with that? Or can you go help Susan with that? Or whoever, Michelle with that? And he'll go right ahead and he'll assist you. If you need a lot of tech, he's going to charge you like $9 an hour. But if you just need a little bit of help here and there, we got you. It's included in the now 2,000 because I'm taking 5 off. But if you really needed like full-time support, he's going to be $9 an hour. I don't think you're going to need that. I haven't had anybody need that yet. And I think I've had several hundred people, about 300 people through the program so far.
Yay. So everything is taken care of. You got the templates, you got the tech, you got the information, you got the emails. All you need to do is take action, save yourself $500 and get an extra 6 weeks. And you can start selling the program we worked on for the past 4 days. That's exciting. James Cooper, Mr. Big Smile. Hey.
Hi, James.
Are you muted? Unmute?
Unmute. Good. Got it?
Let's try it now.
Oh, you're good. Good to hear your voice and see your smile.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening. Two quick questions. One is around the term, I've heard you refer to it over the last several days, fake experts. What the heck's a fake expert?
All right, so this is my own word for these people. And I've hired some of them, and this is how it happened for me. They would say, give me 10,000, 12,000, 20,000, whatever it is, and I'm going to teach you, and I'm going to use a true example. I had a guy years and years ago, I'm going to teach you how to have a webinar, and it's going to sell. Great. So I paid this guy $15,000. And I followed the way he said to do a webinar, and he had all kinds of questions. I had all kinds of problems. I never got access to him ever for 15 grand, ever. My questions sat on a help desk for months and months and months, and I would get one-word answers. I launched the webinar, and it was done on stealth, and I said, I'm really having a problem because there's all these fake names. It doesn't serve me. And he said, well, then you shouldn't have joined my program. To me, that is a fake expert. Didn't guarantee me a result, didn't give me a result, took my money and lots of other people's money. And I, unfortunately, not only have hired a lot of those people, but what's happened is many of my clients have hired lots of those people and then found me later, unfortunately, after they spent a lot of money. So that's my wording now for a fake expert.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So my next question is around building out your webinar.
Yes.
And I'm probably getting a little bit too deep in the weeds, but I tend to be a talker anyway, so I'm a speaker by nature. How long do you make these webinars? I've heard getting a little bit 30, 45 minutes. Okay. You know, what's a good amount of time?
Great question. Let me just, there we go. So this is a really important question. We didn't cover this, and this will be helpful for everyone. What I actually recommend is that you make your webinar 45 minutes, not 43, not 48. Now, everything I teach, and this is where I am a little bit different, I only teach things that are proven. I've had to use it, I've had to test it, I've had to tweak it, I've had to spend my own time, money, energy, and investing in a lot of other people to figure it out. When I figure it out for me, then I try it with my clients, and then my clients and I go ahead and we use it, and then we make sure it works for them. I tried a 60-minute, I tried a 90-minute, I tried a 30-minute, I tried a 20-minute, and I tried breaking up 45 minutes, and I'm going to tell you, hands down, 45 minutes is the magic ticket, and the template I give you is for the 45 minutes. Great question.
Outstanding. Now, is that 45 minutes solid, or is that, because I've been on some webinars that are 45 minutes and then 20 minutes of pitching?
Nope. No, there is no pitching in this webinar, and that is a big difference. It is content, it is value, it is results. It is, I'm going to give you and show you that I'm real. And then at the end, it's very simple. I give you simple language, 2 slides that basically has the right people raise their hands, and you can then chat with them for a few minutes and decide if you're going to accept them. And of course, only accepting the people you know you can help.
Outstanding. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have an awesome rest of the day.
You too.
And let's see, David, can you chat with us? Because now we can see your video. So unmute yourself. Just unmute. See if I can. I can't unmute you, so you have to unmute.
You're muted, David. So you've got to hit the microphone.
Click on the little microphone on the top. You're on your phone or something.
Yeah, we see your mouth moving, but we don't hear you. David? Somehow he's still muted.
Yeah. So David, figure out that, and we'll get back to you. And we have Danis. Am I saying it right?
No, you didn't.
Right. No. I keep messing it up.
It's okay. It's Dinus.
Dinus. Sorry, I apologize.
Hi, Dinus.
Hold on. Here I am.
There you are. Hey.
Okay. Hello. I'm actually horizontal.
I was going to say.
Under the weather all day. And the way that I'll phrase it is, you know, my heart sort of opened up in the beginning of the series, and I saw it as sort of interesting, sort of cosmic happenstance that the album that I'm thinking of selling, you know, I wrote 20 years ago, released 20 years ago, got a great award for it, and you know, I'm kind of feeling like, you know, I see this structure. I've got other things I can do in this sort of webinar structure, even that's related to music, like teaching people how to write their songs down. Cool. But if I haven't sold my actual music, you know, and I asked you, you said that you purchased proprietary music. I asked you, well, which ones? You know, I'd love to go to the website. I'll buy some too. You know, I'll see what the other people are doing. If it's working for them, maybe I can model their success. But really, sort of what happened is that, now also with a lot of pain, actually, sort of physical pain, saying, you know, maybe this is impossible. Maybe really no one cares, and that's sort of hard to face. So in terms of you know, training myself and putting out what people would call good music, and Yesterday, I had a friend of mine over right before the webinar, and he was suffering with the very same issue. And, you know, I'm doing okay in other areas of my life, and I'm able to sustain myself. He is incredibly smart, incredibly talented, and completely broke. So I guess for me, I'm right at, how can I sell this music?
So let's talk about a couple things, Dinus. First of all, one of the big things that I work with in my program is actually helping people have more confidence, because if we don't have more inner confidence that this is going to happen, it's going to be very difficult to put together. So the first thing I would do with you is really work on you and your confidence and your belief that you can create income in selling your music. And that's got to happen first. We can't do all the outer actions until we actually believe it. So that's the first piece. That's important for you and for everybody, that we've got to have the inner feeling. And then the second thing is, I really, and if I didn't believe it, I would tell you, and I've told some other people in the chat, et cetera, that I don't think they have something that can be a program. I've told 2 people in the chat bot recently that I didn't think what they had could be a program. I believe what you have can be a program. I believe that you've got to get the inner game right, and then if you'd allow us to put the outer actions together, I really believe that we can create a program. So it's got to come from your belief system first.
I have a question that relates to that. So then if I see examples and, like, you know, I mean, you see people who then wind up with whatever, 14 million Spotify fans and views, and they wind up getting like $400. And you see these lawsuits, and you're like, okay, well, if that's the environment that I'm headed in, then why go? You know, I mean, I play music with the Sunday school, you know, I accompany Latvian folk dancing. I'm doing a show, like a family show in March. You know, maybe a part of it is just drop that. I don't know.
So I don't necessarily believe it's dropped that yet. If I did, I would tell you that. I don't believe that. I believe you stay away from things like Spotify. I believe that we create an audience and a crowd and a message and a one result that your music creates for them. And then we simply go get the people who are interested and we create a webinar. And I really believe that it will work. That's my perspective. That's my belief. And if for some reason it didn't work, then I'll help you go in a different direction. But I think it's worth a try. If I didn't, I would tell you that.
Okay. I mean, that makes me feel better. I don't see it yet.
I understand that.
Which is really, it's pretty stressful for me. But.
Okay, so I want you to let go of the stress, because if I see it, if you choose to work with me, I see it and you don't, I can literally take you by the hand and help you get there. So it's sort of like when I'm a professional race car driver, and the first time I ever got in the race car, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? Am I crazy? What am I doing? And I remember that the instructor looked at me and said, you've got this. I believe in you. I have faith in you. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, I don't really necessarily know, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember that the instructor looked at me and said, you've got this. On their video here we go. And so I literally just took a few seconds and I thought, I'm just going to go with it because they're saying. And actually I figured it out, and I got my license. I've done professional races, but I didn't see it at all. And that's why you have a mentor.
Okay.
So I'm
going to go to sleep. I'll watch this again tomorrow.
Good night, good morning, whatever it is. Bye for now.
And Robin is saying that she would love to hear your music. So if you have a link to your music, you already have a few people here that are interested in listening to that.
Me too.
What's that?
Me too, Dinus.
Yeah. And there was another question from Amy. Let me find it. It was about Amy. Let's see. Sorry. You know what? Let's get to Donald, and then I'll find it. Donald, can we hear you? Donald? Poor Donald, he can never get to.
Don tried yesterday and today. Don, are you able to chime in with us?
Okay, Glenn, can we hear you? We saw you before.
Here's Glenn.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn.
Did I break it?
No, you're fine.
Hang on, that's Donald speaking.
Was
Glenn?
that Donald?
Yeah, Glenn's here, but I didn't have any questions.
Go for it. No questions?
No,
Are you
you're fine.
No.
getting
I'm
value?
Can you hear me,
Yeah, I'm
Terry?
just absorbing everything
Hang on,
you have to say.
Donald
What you're
speaking.
offering
Glenn?
is, you have a lot of competition, so I'm bringing in as much information as I can.
Awesome. It's great to have you here. I'm glad you were able to get in today and good to be with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late getting here, but yeah, listening in.
All right. Thanks a lot, Glenn.
Amy's question is, how do you recommend recording the webinar? Using a professional, or can we do it ourselves if we have good software for editing?
Okay, so if you listen to what I said a little earlier, I'll just clarify and repeat it. I do teach you exactly how to do it. You follow the template every single slide, and then you either record it in PowerPoint or in Keynote or in Google Slides. And I literally teach you, do this on slide 1, this on slide 2, every single thing that goes on every slide. I teach you, and then I teach you the kind of language. In other words, what am I supposed to say on slide 1? What's the image? I put my image in, then I say this, and you literally practice it, and then you'll hit the record button, and you'll save it, and you'll upload it to YouTube. It's simple and easy. I have had someone who is the least techie person, who is 72 years old, create her webinar with me doing this program. She did it in week 3, I believe, maybe it was week 4. So you'll be able to do it easy.
It's awesome. I think what she's asking is, should she use her own voice or use like a professional voice?
Yourself. If you think about this, thanks for clarifying. If you think about this, I am teaching you to be transparent, authentic, right? And to get people results. Why would they hear somebody else if they're going to do business with you? It would be like me having somebody stand in for me during this webinar, and you have a stand in for Terry. It doesn't make any sense. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And the purpose of the webinar is getting them to know you, like you, trust you, giving them content, and moving them to a result. So it's very, very important that it's you. Thank you for asking that.
So I'm not sure what's your name, because it says Form Function Salon and Spa.
That's Liz. That is Liz McNearney. I know who that is.
Hey, Liz. Can you unmute yourself, Liz? Liz?
Can you unmute? Just got to unmute your microphone there. Hi, just unmute your microphone. Really want to see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you look beautiful.
Hi, I finally got on.
Unmute your microphone there. Hi, just unmute your microphone.
Oh, I see me. I see.
Really want to see you. Can you hear me?
I see me a couple of times. Thanks.
Hey, you look beautiful. Hi, I finally got
Liz,
on.
what you need to do is you need to pause the video that you're watching on the page, and then we can hear you.
I see me a couple of times. Thanks.
Let's see.
Hi, I finally got on.
Pause the video that you're watching on the page,
and then we can hear you. I'm going to have to mute her because that's not going to work.
See? Okay, so so until you figure this out, Glenn said he had a question. Glenn?
So I'm sorry to come back to you. My question, I'm a full-time speaker. I travel, so I was a bit late. I got in from Seattle this afternoon. So webinars, I'm not really sure how to structure those to help my speaking assignments. I see I can structure them to help emerging speakers be better speakers, for coaching, things like that. Would your program help with me gaining the higher end clients for speakers? As a speaker?
A little hard to do, but I think I got it. So let me try to answer, and then I'll come back to you. I am also a speaker. I speak professionally. I'm a keynote speaker all around the world. And so I actually use my webinars to bring in prospective clients. So instead of me having to talk to prospective clients about, well, if you hire me to speak, or instead of a demo reel or any of that, people watch my webinars and they engage with me from the webinars. So I would work with 2 things with you. One is creating, and David, you're again calling me on my private Google. You're not on this line. I would teach you how to create a webinar that would feature you that would bring in more prospects that will hire you and also for more money. And if you decided you wanted to do any coaching or you wanted to train speakers, we could create those webinars also. But I definitely would like to see you have a speaker webinar that's going to bring you a lot more prospects and a lot higher paid gigs.
Yeah, that's my question. So the answer to that, during the whole time, I just never was able to connect to saying, okay, how that helped my speaking career?
It does.
I could see for coaching, but
yeah. So I get all my keynote speaking, not all, probably 80 or 90% of it from a particular webinar that I have that I drive meeting planners and other people to. They watch my webinar. By the end of the webinar, they contact me, and then we see if I'm the right fit. And it brings me speaking prospects all the time. So I'd love to see something like that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. That was a great question, Glenn. Thank you for asking.
Okay, we are almost we are 5 minutes out of time. So let's get to Lucia, and I think we are almost done. Lucia.
Hi, Lucia.
Hey. Just unmute.
Can you hear can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes. Hi there.
Awesome. Awesome. Hi. I'm so happy to be here. My passion is actually to do interviews too. Can I implement some of the webinars thing to the interviews that I'm doing?
Let me back up and ask you, what's the one result that you're going to deliver in your high ticket program?
I'm still coming with that because I have many, so I need to specify for one only. I am with alternative medicine, so it's.
I remember that. I remember
yes.
that. So I would like you to really come up with the one result, just the one result that you could create. It's possible that we could weave interviews in. I'm not 100% committed to that, though. I would like to know together what the one result is. When we narrow down the one result, then I would still like to structure the whole webinar the way that I structure them, because I know it works. And you haven't worked quite as well. However, that being said, we can do some case study interviews woven into the webinar, and that's something I can show you to do, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Here with you, Lucia.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye for now.
Bye.
So last person, let's see if Liz can join us. Liz? If you unmute yourself.
Can you unmute, Liz? You there, Liz? Can you unmute, Liz?
Hello?
Yeah. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Did you close the other window so it's not playing? It sounds like you there, Liz? No, we're still hearing both windows, I think.
Yeah. So.
Yes. Did you close the other window so it's not playing? It sounds
Okay, so Liz and everyone, let me just show you how you can practice hanging out for Monday.
Yeah,
so
and
right here
I want to speak
on
to
the
David.
page.
Hang on, Yvette. I want to make sure David is paying attention, because David, on my phone, I'm getting constant Google calls from you and notifications from you. So that means you're calling me directly and not this Hangout. So pay close attention, because I really want to have you as part of this. And Liz, you too. So go ahead, Yvette. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So right here on the top menu, sorry. So I'm going to go back to our page. And when you scroll down on the page, right here, how to join a Hangout, click that. And there's going to be some training if you need them. And right here on the bottom, click here to practice. So this will actually tell you how to do it, how to not look ugly, how to look great, what you need in terms of tech and all that stuff, some etiquette. But here, if you click on that, it will open a Hangout and you can practice joining us, unmuting yourself, muting yourself, so that when you join, we can actually hear you and see you. So, so last question before we end. Two more things actually for today.
Hang on, David. David, the message that you sent about your program actually came just to my phone. It's not coming into the Hangout comments. So if you can post that in the comments on the comment page from today, I will answer that question. Okay, sorry, Yvette, go ahead.
That's okay. So if you guys want to join to Terry, save yourself $500 and get 6 extra weeks, double the time. This
12 weeks.
With that?
I've never done it. It's 12 weeks. I'm doubling the amount, 90 minutes of coaching with me every single week, all my templates, my emails, the webinar, the private closed Facebook group so I could help you, the national Facebook lovers group so we can drive leads, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving it away.
Giving away the farm. So you can get the farm and save yourself $500 right here. Just click this. And you got the page, put your credit card information. It will tell you exactly what you're getting. And right here, and then you're in. You get a special offer. This page is going to be gone next time we are meeting on Monday. So this is your one-time thing if you want to do that. And I think last question is, let's see, where am I? Oh, I'm sharing my screen. So Kenya is saying there's a little bit of a glitch. For some reason, she can't sign up. Don't worry. We'll make sure that you sign up before Monday. We're going to talk to our tech guy and see what happened. And last question, Gloria is asking, what is the difference between a webinar and a podcast? And on that, we're going to finish. Terry.
Okay, so a podcast is something that airs on like iTunes or something like that we listen to, and you have a new one over and over again. So think of a radio show. You're listening in the morning and somebody's talking about XYZ, and then tomorrow that somebody's in the morning talking about XYZ. A webinar is done once, one time, only one time, and it plays over and over and over again. Your right target audience comes for that exact information. They walk away with high content, high value, and a real result and a real outcome. So that's what happens. And Liz, I just want to address your question. You have the window open. When you come into the Hangout, you have to close the window where you were watching us before, because what we're hearing is the other page. So we're hearing ourselves, and that's why we're having difficulty speaking. So that's why it's not matching up. So just to make sure we got that answered. And I want to say one more thing before we leave today. I'm happily here and happily giving you 4 more days. We're skipping tomorrow for Super Bowl Sunday. We have 4 more days. I'm going to teach you a lot more in this course. I'm never, ever doing this for $2,000. It's way below what I should be doing it for. If you're trying to get traffic and do this yourself and spend energy doing it, just believe me, you're going to spend more than $2 grand on it. If I help you just get one client for $2,500, you've got your money back, which is ridiculous getting one client. So if you have ever said to yourself, I want to do something or I want to do something and, whatever your story is, I'm just going to say to you very honestly from my heart, this is the time to do it. 12 weeks with me is something I'm never going to give again. I just don't do this. I'm doing it as a one-time thing. I decided to do it for the right people. And I've already seen many of you, spoken to many of you, communicated with many of you on chat and Hangouts. Talk yourself into it and saying what could happen if versus I'm going to decide not to do it. And then 3 months from now, be in the exact same place, have a webinar that you did all wrong, don't have the right result that matches people, don't know how to drive traffic, have nobody asking for a 10-minute conversation. I've got the proven formula and I would like to give it to you. So I really am thinking of what I'm doing as permission to reveal probably the biggest gift I've ever given away, literally, in the 20-something years I've been doing this. And I hope that those of you who are fast action takers, who are committed, who are serious about your business and want 2018 to be your year, are going to understand how valuable this can be and how much I want to help. And I'm ready to take you under my wing and nurture you. And I want you to be my next success story in my case study. I really do.
And with that, there's only one question left. Robin is asking, when does the coaching start?
Great question. So as soon as this course ends, which is going to be on Thursday, the course will begin the following Monday. I don't have a calendar here in front of me. So a week from Monday, we will get rocking. And by the way, don't worry if you miss a session or anything like that. You email me your questions. I record the answers. So if you wanted to say, oh, Terry, here's my core unique positioning, and you couldn't make the call, you're going to send me that, and I'm going to coach you, and it's going to be recorded. So you don't have to panic if you can't make the first session. It starts the Monday right after this course ends. And as soon as you enroll, which has to be by Monday at 5, because the minute this starts, it's no more. It's forever, no more. It's $2,500 for 6 weeks, period.
So Monday, we will be talking about traffic. All of you are worried about like, how I'm going to get traffic? Who's going to pay attention to me? So we have a few more days. One of them will be traffic. After that, we're going to talk about closing, because after you got people to the webinar and after they watch the webinar, you need to know how to close them. And then there's something completely counterintuitive where Terry will tell you why following up with people actually hurts your sales. And on day 10, we're going to give you the entire complete system for generating high-end clients. So Monday, traffic. We'd love to see you. Same place, same time. Share this. I know a lot of people said, how do I share it? Just share gethotpayingclients.com with anyone you want. And if you want to win some goodies, go to the win page and share your direct link from there. So with that, happy Super Bowl.
Have a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see many of you in the program in the next day or so. Bye for now.